basically states that America's economic system has been able to grow and to prosper not because of our exclusion from it, but because we were included in it. So he said, yeah, maybe sometimes they may have kept us at arm's length away, but they would never let you get too far away because their system would not be able to continue if you got too far away. The system's first greatest thrust, the Industrial Revolution, was made possible through the enslavement of Africans. Countless sufferings of our people had to happen for that boost in production. And during everyone's beloved 60s, the second wave of separation, inequality, and economic corruption happened, with the birth of what is now known as a technology-based market, or the information age. Many scholars now present the argument that this shift in the markets became a legal and moral way to weed out and to separate poor black people. Poor people at large, yes, but especially poor black people, especially due to the amount of ruckus that was made during the 60s and 70s. It is important to note that this idea of solely a technology-based market, everything based on education, being primal for survival, not saying anything about the school-to-prison pipeline system, was pushed, and is maintained especially by that black middle class and the Negroes on all social levels. Now, those political events, those political occurrences, and those political actions directly influenced and shifted the theory and practice of economics, just like that. Now, I could continue to go on through countless and countless historical events and occurrences which prove beyond all rational doubt that America's economic structure is no good for black people. Despite the color of the president, despite the color of anybody on the presidential cabinet. However, since a number of the people stated that today was a new day, and Obama, our brother, Barack Obama, was the end to many, if not all, the ailments. I've heard many different stories, but let's just assume, I'm going to go with some of the cases that I've really heard, the end to all ailments for black people. I feel a great need to address recent evidence to combat this problem. 50 to 60% of black people, specifically black men in low-income areas, such as Wilmington, such as Philadelphia, such as New York, and many areas across the country, 50 to 60% of black males are dropping out of high school. About 72% of all black male high school dropouts by 2004 were unemployed. If we factor in all black people, if we factor in those graduates, then 50% of black men in their 20s by 2004 were unemployed, up 46% from 2000. And majorly, those major, where they're able to find those economic gains, these black men, high school, in high school, dropping out of high school, whatever, those primary systems in place in which they are able to gain economic stability happen right out on the streets. Either selling, hustling, participating in numbers games, whatever it is. Now that's another situation. So I'm going to try and stay on this topic of economics. There are about 2.2 million inmates in the United States. 1.2 million are black. Homicide is the leading cause of death for black men between the ages of 15 and 44. And black men make up the highest homicide victimization rates, meaning they're being killed the most and they're killing the most. between the ages of 15 and 24. Our current economic crisis, which is due majorly to a practice known as redlining, a practice of giving faulty loans to who? To black people, to you and I, giving faulty loans to us. This current economic system is thrusted by who? Us, the exploitation of black people. Those pigs from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and Lehman Brothers were all financed and protected by those understanding and those accepting and those liberal Democrats. If you still believe that today is your new day, then go and check out what they're doing overseas. Go to any random paper or online article and see numerous protests happening all around the world, especially in Gaza and in the Middle East. Check out the connections that Russia is making with China, and with Russia and China, and what they're making with Cuba. Realize that these political actions directly affect the brother that's standing out on 22nd in Washington. Your new day, as far as I'm concerned, is a hoax. And your oppressor is still dominating. Your land of Africa. The reason why you have black skin is because your ancestors came from that land. And your homeland is now under intense colonization and under intense exploitation. And you and I should already realize that something must be wrong when someone gets on a commercial and asks you to donate money to one of your starving African children who is African born, African raised, African speaking, African oppressed, and has a name like Alex or Jacob. The one I heard yesterday was Michael. Some people like to talk about that they only see green, a way to represent that they only see money or finance or rich and poor or have and have not. But as a person majoring in finance and in the spirit of Sankofa, I can honestly tell you that you can't see green without first seeing black, brown, red, and yellow, because those are the people that had to suffer and be exploited for green to happen. I don't care what color your president is. I don't care any president that existed from Obama all the way back to Washington. Because as long as the system remains in place, we still have a problem.
That's right.
Finally, it is important to know the structure by which Kwanzaa and cooperative economics happens. For you can't have cooperative economics without unity. You can't have unity unless the people are self-determined to name themselves, speak for themselves, and to stand up for themselves. If the people do not work collectively and manage their responsibility, then the self-determination will wither, and the unity will crumble, and the economics will evaporate. If you think that I'm lying, then go to every black community from here to California, and you will see very few, if not any, there will be no businesses, maybe few at best, who participate in the economics necessary for the survival of black people. We must unify ourselves, name, speak, and stand up for ourselves, and take on the responsibility of doing what is necessary for the people to build our necessary economics collectively. Thank you.